The air inside the hospital room was thick with the scent of antiseptic and fading life. Mr. Harris's voice trembled as he pulled Ethan closer. "Use this money for your dream, and promise me you won't stop, no matter what happens." Ethan's throat tightened. "I promise." The old man smiled faintly, his hand falling limp against the bedsheet. By morning, Mr. Harris was gone, and Ethan was left holding an envelope with $500, his teacher's last savings. At first, it felt like a blessing. But within days, Ethan noticed strangers watching him. A black SUV idled outside his school. A man in a leather jacket followed him home. And one rainy night, a voice growled behind him in the dark. "Kid, hand over what's not yours, or you won't see tomorrow." Ethan didn't know it yet. But that promise had just turned him into the most wanted boy in Maple Creek. The air inside the hospital room was thick with the scent of antiseptic and fading life. Mr. Harris's voice trembled as he pulled Ethan closer. "Use this money for your dream, and promise me you won't stop, no matter what happens." Ethan's throat tightened. "I promise." The old man smiled faintly, his hand falling limp against the bedsheet. By morning, Mr. Harris was gone, and Ethan was left holding an envelope with $500, his teacher's last savings. For a moment, Ethan stood in the empty hallway, staring at the pale morning light streaming through the windows. This man had been more than a teacher, he'd been the only adult who believed in him. Ethan walked home through the chilly streets of Maple Creek, Ohio, the envelope tucked deep into his jacket pocket. He thought about his football scholarship dream, new cleats, better training, maybe even traveling for a tryout. But deep down, something about that money felt heavier. 3 days later, he noticed the first shadow. A black SUV parked across from his high school, engine off, tinted windows. At first, he brushed it off. But the next day, it was there again. On Thursday night, walking home after football practice, he caught the reflection of someone in a leather jacket, keeping the same pace behind him. By Saturday, paranoia had crept into his bones. He double-checked every turn, avoided empty streets. Still, the feeling of eyes boring into his back wouldn't fade. That evening, the autumn rain came down hard. Street lights flickered, and puddles reflected the neon glow of Maggie's Diner on Main Street. Ethan cut through an alley, thinking he'd save time. That's when he heard the footsteps, fast, purposeful. A deep voice growled behind him. "Kid, hand over what's not yours, or you won't see tomorrow." Ethan froze. His grip tightened around the envelope inside his pocket. I don't know what you're talking about," he stammered. A cold laugh. "Don't play dumb. That money isn't just money. It belongs to people who don't forgive, and they know you have it." Lightning flashed, illuminating the man's face, scarred cheek, piercing eyes, rain dripping from his hood. He stepped closer, and Ethan's heart pounded so loud he could barely hear the rain anymore. Before Ethan could react, the man grabbed his arm. But a sudden blinding light swept across the alley. A sleek red sports car screeched to a stop at the alley's mouth. The tinted window slid down, revealing a woman in a glittering silver dress, lips painted crimson. "Get in," she said sharply. Ethan hesitated. The man's grip tightened. "Kid, you get in that car, you're dead by sunrise," he hissed. The woman revved the engine, her eyes locked on Ethan's. "You want to live? Move." Ethan made his choice. He yanked free, sprinted to the car, and dove into the passenger seat. Tires squealed as they shot out of the alley, leaving the man's furious shouts behind. Breathless, Ethan turned to her. "Who are you?" Her gaze stayed on the road. "Someone who knows exactly what you promised, and why it's going to get you killed." Rain hammered against the windshield as the red sports car sped out of Maple Creek's backstreets, neon lights smearing across the glass. Ethan gripped the seatbelt, heart still racing. "You're going to tell me what's going on, right?" he demanded. The woman in the silver dress didn't look at him. Her dark hair clung to her cheek, and her hands were steady on the wheel. "My name's Isabella Hart. I was a friend of Mr. Harris. Let's just say he wasn't the harmless old teacher you thought he was." Ethan frowned. "What do you mean?" "He taught English." She cut him off sharply. "He also held something dangerous. Something worth killing for." The car swerved into the driveway of a sleek glass-walled house perched on a hill, miles away from Ethan's small, run-down neighborhood. The place looked like it belonged in a movie, all marble floors and city lights glittering through floor-to-ceiling windows. Ethan followed her inside, dripping rainwater onto the pristine white rug. She tossed him a towel. "Dry off. You're safe here, for now." Ethan's mind spun. Safe from who? That guy in the alley. Her eyes hardened. Him, and the people he works for. They think you have something that belongs to them. Ethan pulled the damp envelope from his pocket and held it up. "This? It's just money. $500. Isabella shook her head slowly, almost pityingly. "Open it." Confused, Ethan tore the envelope open. The bill slid into his palm, but hidden inside the folded cash was a small metallic chip, no bigger than a thumbnail. "What the hell is this?" "That," she said, stepping closer, "is a data key. It holds bank account numbers, offshore ledgers, and evidence that could put one of the most powerful men in Ohio behind bars for the rest of his life." Ethan's throat went dry. "And Mr. Harris had it. Why give it to me?" "Because," she said, her voice softening, "he trusted you. You're the only person he knew wouldn't sell it, or use it for yourself." Before Ethan could respond, the lights in the house flickered. Isabella's head snapped toward the window. "Oh no," she whispered. Down the hill, black SUVs crawled up the driveway, 3 of them, headlights cutting through the rain. Ethan's chest tightened. "They found us." Isabella grabbed his arm. "Listen to me, if they get that chip, everything Mr. Harris died for, everything, is gone." The pounding of footsteps echoed on the deck outside. Glass shattered in the next room. Isabella shoved a small backpack into Ethan's hands. "There's a motorcycle in the garage. Take it and head north, to the old train station. Someone will meet you there." "What about you?" Ethan asked, panic in his voice. She smiled faintly, a flash of sadness in her eyes. "I'll buy you time. Go." Gunshots cracked through the house. Isabella darted toward the intruders while Ethan bolted to the garage. Rain pelted his face as he roared down the winding hill on the motorcycle, the data key burning like fire in his pocket. Behind him, the mansion's silhouette lit up with muzzle flashes. He didn't know if Isabella would survive the night. All he knew was that he had a promise to keep. And now, the whole city was hunting him.